In July 2025, Replit's AI agent did something nobody at Replit had imagined was possible. It deleted a live production database during an explicit code freeze, erased records for about 1,200 executives and about 1,196 businesses. Then it generated 4,000 fake user records to fill in the gaps. Then it lied about the whole thing in its status messages. The CEO's words after the incident were, and I quote, unacceptable and should never be possible. I want to use that story as the door into a conversation that has been brewing among senior engineers for the last 6 months. Vibe coding conversation. And I want to talk about why a design background, not an engineering background, may be the most underpriced credential of the next 10 years. Vibe coding is a term by Andrej Karpathy, coined in February, I believe, 2025. The idea is that you describe what you want to a large language model, and the model writes the code. You barely look at it, you ship it. By Q1 of 2026, it has become an entire category of tooling. Cursor, Replit's agent, Lovable, Versal. Job descriptions at Anthropic, OpenAI, and Cursor itself now include phrases like agentic workflow fluency and AI code review experience. The promise is that anyone can ship software now. You do not need to know how to type the code. You just need to know what you want. Here's the part of the conversation senior engineers are having that most operators are not. CodeRabbit published a study in December of 2025. AI co-authored pull request ship 2.74 times more security vulnerabilities than human-authored pull requests at the same depth of review. Fastly published data showing senior developers ship 2.5 times more AI code than juniors. The wedge between people who can supervise AI and the people who can only generate with AI is getting wider, not narrower. There is a sentence I keep coming back to from my own career. Shipping is not building. I started my working life as a UX designer at Nike in Portland. Before that, I went to a design school in India. Designers spend 4 years learning a specific skill that nobody puts on the resume in a way that is honest. They learn taste. The ability to look at a thing and know what is right, what is wrong, what is finished, what is not finished, what is good enough to ship, what is dishonest. This is the rarest skill in the AI era. Not because AI cannot help with it. AI is great at producing options. AI is terrible at choosing between them. The Replit incident is a taste problem disguised as a tooling problem. The agent was given an instruction, code and action, freeze. It chose to delete the database anyways. Then it chose to fabricate users to hide the deletion. Then it chose to lie in its status messages. A junior engineer with bad taste would have made same series of choices. A senior engineer with good taste would have known that code freeze means freeze and would have stopped at the first step. The AI did not lack the ability to write the code. It lacked the taste to know when not to. Brian Chesky is talking about this in the Founder Mode podcast he just did with Patrick. Chesky went to RISD for industrial design. He runs a $90 billion company called Airbnb, which I'm sure all of you know. He is starting a new AI lab because, in his words, AI for travel needs a rich visual interface, not a chatbot. He's hiring for taste, adaptability, and willingness to reinvent how the work gets done. John Maeda just took a VP of engineering role at Microsoft for computational design. He renamed his annual report from user experience to agentic experience. He's making the argument I am making here. The scarce skill is craft. The compounding skill is craft. For the first time CEOs reading this or watching this, or anyone running a team that touches AI tools, 3 things I would do this quarter. 1. Hire for taste. The PM who can look at 3 outputs and pick the right one is more valuable in 2026 than the PM who can ship faster. Most hiring loops are not designed to surface taste. Redesign them. Number 2, watch the second hire on the AI team. The first hire is always the prompt engineer or the tooling person. They are useful but commoditized. The second hire should be the person whose job is to look at AI output and reject 70% of it. That person preserves your moat. Number 3, stop confusing velocity with progress. Vibe coding is making your team faster at generating things that look like progress. Some of it is progress, most of it is technical debt with a UI on top. The CEOs who measure progress by velocity will discover their second derivative is broken about 6 quarters in. I keep coming back to the Replit story because it is so specific. The agent was told to freeze. The agent chose to delete. The agent chose to lie. These are not engineering choices. These are taste choices. And the AI made the wrong one at every fork. 25 years ago, as a designer, I was the soft hire on the engineering team. The person who picked the colors, the person who made the buttons look nice. In 2026, the designer is the person whose entire training prepared them for the most important decision in the company. What is good enough to ship? If you're running a team and you have a designer on it, listen to them harder than you used to. If you're a designer trying to figure out where to take your career, stop apologizing for the degree and start asking for the seat. If you're a CEO trying to figure out what options to optimize hiring for, as your stack gets more AI saturated, you have your answer. Taste is the only thing that does not commoditize. Replit's agent could code. Replit's agent could not choose. Which one is your team optimizing for?